welcome back to my channel. So it looks like all the fears the family had in this last episode of 1,000-Pound Sisters may be coming true after a source close to Tammy recently revealed to The Sun that Tammy and Caleb's marriage is already on the rocks only 3 months after getting married. So according to a close family source, they revealed that Tammy and Caleb have been arguing nonstop lately after only being apart for a few weeks. So tensions are building between them after they've only just got married this past November. But Caleb, he had promised Tammy that he had plans to transfer the facility that he's staying in. So he still has his trach in. He still has to be under care. So he's going to transfer from the Ohio facility to a nearby facility in Kentucky by Tammy, and that hasn't happened yet. He keeps promising that he's going to do it, but he has made no arrangements with his insurance to cover the transfer. But a source has revealed that he hasn't taken any initiative to do so yet, and he's been saying this for months, and Tammy's just getting sick and tired of it at this point. She said even though she's married, she's starting to feel like she's single again, and this is what her family was worried about. Chris and the whole family told her, what happens if you leave the facility and he never leaves? And Tammy didn't want to think about that. So the source revealed that Tammy is sad that her husband is not with her. She's frustrated that Caleb has not made an effort to move to a facility in Kentucky from Ohio. And they've been arguing because she feels like he's not handling the transfer with urgency. And as previously reported, Tammy's been helping take care of Amy and her 2 sons after she split up from her husband Michael. And Tammy's frustrated and pissed off because she's upset that Caleb isn't around to help out. Which makes me sad at Caleb even more, because I don't understand why you want to be near your wife and spend more time with your wife when all you have to do is make a simple phone call, set up the transportation, make sure your insurance covers it, and then get a hold of the facility in Kentucky. Like, it does not seem that hard. It's giving me either you're trying to wait until they start filming for the next season and you're trying to get more out of this whole situation than just being married to Tammy, or it's giving me that you don't know how to take care of yourself. So even though Tammy and Caleb have been fighting, the producers have been in talks with the whole 1,000-Pound Sisters cast, talking about having a big family vacation in Greece to celebrate Tammy and Caleb's marriage. So they wanted to have like this big honeymoon trip, all expenses paid in Greece, and bring the entire family along with them. Bring Chris and his wife, Misty, Amanda, Amy and her kids. I guess Michael wouldn't be coming because they're split up now. But I just don't see Amy coming with like 2 young sons. Maybe she would. I don't know. But Tammy has been eager to get out and travel. But I don't see how that's going to happen if Caleb is still in the facility and has to be under care and he still has the trach on. Tammy's got her trach off, but he's still wearing his trach. So I just don't see how they would be able to do that with him be able to travel like that. If he can't even like leave from one facility to another without being medically transported like Tammy was, then how is he going to get on a plane? And the cameras have not started rolling for season 4 part B. What we're seeing right now is currently season 4 part A. And that's what kind of makes me side-eye Caleb a little bit, because he's starting to give me BBW King vibes. And at first, I was like all for this. But like I said, maybe the dude just doesn't know how to take care of himself. But the fact, like the BBW King, if you guys remember, Tammy's ex, he would always come in the picture right when she was filming or right before she was about to film. And then they'd break up and he'd crawl his way back in again. And like it's happened so many times. And now like here Caleb is conveniently shows up while they're filming this season we're seeing now. And now that they're not filming right now, he doesn't have any urgency to be around Tammy. And that's just, I'm sure, I wonder if he has a contract. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he was getting a little check off each episode once they started featuring him. And that's just kind of what makes me wonder, like, what this dude's intentions are. And you've been at this rehab facility for like a year and you just suddenly start coming out once the cameras are around. But Tammy's been in this rehab facility. You've been in this rehab facility for a year, but you just start coming around when the cameras are around. Just think about that. Another thing is, like, did he just show up to the rehab facility with a whole engagement ring in his pocket to ask Tammy to marry him? Was like this the whole plan all along? Did he order a ring off Amazon? Like, how did he come prepared? Because we know he did not leave the rehab facility, go buy her a ring, and it just all happened so quick. And I just want to talk about a few things from this last episode. I'm not going to recut the whole thing. I just want to rant about a few things. So Tammy called her family. She revealed to her family, like, look, I'm engaged. I'm going to get married in 2 weeks. I want the whole family to rally together and come down to Ohio for the wedding. So Tammy states that she wants to have the wedding at the rehab facility because of her friends who are at the rehab facility. She's like, look, these are the main people in my life. They've been there for me. I want them to be a part of this. And she said they aren't safely cleared to leave, so she wants to bring the wedding to the rehab facility. But she really had no other options because Caleb can't leave the facility either. So then Tammy, her whole family comes down right before the wedding. I think it's like a day or two before the wedding. Chris comes down with his wife, Misty and Amanda, Amy and her kids, and Michael to meet Caleb. And so they all sit down in this room. And before they even really get a chance to say hi, introduce themselves, Tammy sees baby Gage, and I think it was Chris was like, oh, this is the most important thing in this room right now. And Tammy's fiance said, what are you going to do when we have some babies of our own? And the whole family just looked like this. This is Amy. Her side eye was going super sideways. This was Chris's face and Michael's reaction. Like, I laughed for a good 5 minutes of the family's reactions. They're all like, hail to the no. But they sat down and they started talking, and Caleb was like, look, I've been through the same things as Tammy. There's 2 times since being in this facility that I almost passed away. And I don't think what he was saying was really assuring Chris very much. But he's like, look, guys, I love your sister. I'm 39 years old. I've never been arrested. But I feel like they should have really got into it more about, like, financials. And even Chris said, like, I want to make sure that you're not going to use my sister because so many people came in Tammy's life and just used her, clout chased off her. And he swore up and down he isn't. But I feel like they should have got into, like, how is Caleb getting money? Is he on disability? How's his credit? Can he buy a house? Like, you know, all that stuff. Has he taken care of himself? Because I have seen his Facebook, and I know at least since 2018, dude has been back and forth from one rehab, from one hospital to another. And that's just what I know about from 2000 up until 2018. And like, he's like Tammy. I've seen on his Facebook at least like once or twice a year he has close calls to death and almost dies, just like Tammy went through. But I do have to give him credit. He has lost weight, but he still has not hit his goal and been able to get his trach off to where he can leave the facility. So I don't know, like, at first, like, I was all for Caleb. I'm like, team Caleb. But then once I found out that he kind of stalked her down and he found her and went down there to be with her, I was like, okay, you know, that's cute. You know, maybe the man just knows what he wants. You know, he sees someone he's attracted to on TV. He likes her qualities. And, you know, the thing is, another red flag to me, he was like, look, I think he said his sister, his friend, was showing him and told him, look, here's a facility you can go to. Tammy's in there. And I feel like he wanted to go to the facility more for Tammy than what he needed to go to the facility for, and that was to work on his weight. And I feel like if, you know, he tried to tell Tammy, look, I saw you were being successful, and I was like, look, if she can do it, I can do it, so I need to go to that same exact place. And it's like, how did you know she was being successful, though? Because I know that Tammy, you know, it was like she was not doing good. And then when she started doing good, it's like all, you know, within like 3-4 months, she lost that weight, got approved for weight loss surgery, bam, bam, bam. But before that, she was not doing good. And then when she was starting to do good, we didn't know how her progress was until recently, and she started posting a few TikToks, but we had no idea that she was losing the weight she was losing, because she said that she had to keep it off social media because it's part of her contract. She can't show her body since she's on a show about her weight. So how did he really know how successful she was, you know? It's giving me you're more impressed by her TV success compared to her weight loss success. But I feel like Tammy and the family, especially Tammy, should have looked more into like Caleb's doctor assessment to find out like his prognosis. Is he ever going to get off the trach? Like, how much weight does he need to lose? Is he planning on getting weight loss surgery? And that's another thing. Did you see Tammy and be like, oh, you know, here's a way I can sit here and keep doing what I want to do. I can get paid. I can be married to somebody who's famous. And I can sit here and get weight loss surgery eventually, and even skin removal, and they'll pay for it. You know, I'm kind of thinking that Caleb might be an opportunist. But I don't know. He'll prove me wrong if he actually takes some initiative and tries to be with his wife. But this whole being flaky and avoiding being your wife just seems super sus to me. And the fact that he just rushed his whole marriage, granted, Tammy gave in and decided to marry that quick too, but he's the one that decided to propose so fast and really make her marry him before really getting to know him, and having to go all off by his like promises and words instead of seeing any action, because she didn't have any time to see any action. And here she is 3 months later now, regretting her decision to get married, wishing she probably would have listened to her family. Because she should have just, you know, took the engagement and been like, okay, baby, we're engaged. I'm going to move back to Kentucky. Now, if you want to be near me, move to Kentucky, and then, or lose enough weight so you can get out. And you can see how serious he is about this relationship. But she gave him everything without him having to work for anything or having to prove himself, and now she's sitting here regretting it. The dude, because now the dude can't even pick up a damn phone to make a phone call to set up a ride to get near his wife. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts about everything in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.